going on, guys? Today I want to do a Texas rigging tips and tricks. So I just want to make this video for any of you guys that just don't fish Texas rigging too much, or you just kind of want to know what's a good like area to fish it in, what's a good environment, sticks, lay down trees, stumps, grass flats, just everything. Because I've been fishing Texas rig for about most of my life. It's about the first rig I really got started on, and to me, I think it's about the average rig that everybody kind of like starts out their fishing journey on. So I kind of just wanted to show you guys in weight size. I got smallest to biggest, and I just want to give you guys some tips on what you should be using for what out of a hook, how big is your weight for your the bait you're using, and should you peg or should you not peg, and yeah. So let's go. Let's get into it, guys. To start off with, I want to show you guys a smaller presentation. Now this is a Crawfather by Missile Baits. Now it's definitely something good for rocks, ledges, grass flats, and times when you know they're chasing craws. Now the selection I picked for this is a 1/4 weight, because this is obviously a small bait. So to me, using smaller baits is I want a smaller presentation most of the time, and this is not pegged. Now, reason for me not pegging this is because, to be honest, if I'm just working this along like a grass flat or anything like a shallow area or a deep area that I want to work around, just really secluded stuff, small patches of rocks and pebbles and stuff, I don't want to stay too much on the ground. I want to be able to have the opportunity to get on the ground and then bounce off it real quick. And that is the key with a smaller weight. With a bigger weight, you're definitely going to drop a lot faster, but with this, I definitely get a lot more time with the presentation. You know, the claws, they get going a lot longer, it drops slower, it's more of an opportunity, and you got to think of how small it is. It's a small opportunity bait. But that, I wouldn't say it limits you to anything you're gonna fish, but just remind yourself on what you're going for. Finicky fish, or are you going for slow moving fish? Are you going for fish that do not care about chasing? Then this is probably a decent throw around bait, especially if you want to get a quick bite, because it's an easy opportunity for them. It's not gonna be something they have to chase everywhere. So that's a big thing. That's why I picked small weight. Now, definitely I picked a 3/0 hook of, look how small it is. It's about less than the length of my finger. Now, just like I was saying, it's small opportunity bait. Easy bites, and you can throw this thing about everywhere. So that's why I picked 3/0, and yeah, color in the presentation, really, just something that gets moving, something that looks tempting. And just color, water clarity, and whatnot. You guys know the whole spiel. So next is a 3/8 weight, 3/8 ounce. I got it paired with a Young Bad Jamma. These things are really nice. They're like a crossover from like a ribbon tail and a creature. It's kind of cool. It's got a lot of action with the ribbons. It's a lot of action. Now I picked a 4/0 weight, which could be a little overkill for this, but the reason I did this was that, you know, sometimes you have so much action in the back, the fish will just go for it. You know, they'll just attack it, and a lot of times they'll rip your ribbons off. They'll tear them straightly off. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. If you ever fished like a Pit Boss, or you ever fished Devil Spear by Ike and Ellie, that's a big reason to use somewhat of a bigger hook on this. I could have used a 3/0 and got perfect hook presentation / bait. Now, going with a 4, I definitely increased my hook set ratio. I got a bigger hook. It's a lot heavier aught. You've seen on the smaller 3/0, that hook presentation was a lot thinner, and it wasn't piercing the bait as thick as it would with a heavier rod like this. So that's one of the reasons. And just because of, you know, the bait is pretty thick. So I definitely, to me, if I got a thicker bait, I want a thicker hooked, so I can really have some area within inside of where I go through. So that's another thing. Now weight, I picked a 3/8 because I really want to get these ribbons going. I really want to see these things flapping in the water because that's going to get my bite. Now I would easily throw this just like the small presentation bait near some rocks, ledges. This bait would actually be really good for some kind of like, I wouldn't say thick flipping, I would say like log secluded stuff, because these arms will get caught up on stuff because they are kind of like, they're not really hugged to the body, if you see, because the body's really slim. If it wasn't for the ribbons, the body would be perfect. If you had a single ribbon, it'd be better for flipping. This is more like secluded, working grass, just hopping off the bottom, muddy bottom, just anything really. So I picked a weight of, like I said, I want to get these ribbons moving. I want to see these things really getting and shredding water. So that's why I picked a heavier weight. That, and I want to be able to have the chance to work suspended at an even pace. With a lighter weight, you're definitely going to be bringing it up a lot quicker. But with a little bit heavier weight, you can kind of spare a little bit more reeling speed and ratio. So that's kind of what I went with. Now, color-wise, just like I said, water clarity. This is a little bit more natural, but it is almost like a black, sort of. It's like a really dark green. So you can probably get away with murkier water and just right around that. So my next bait is a Zoom 12-inch ribbon tail red shad. Now, this one, like I said earlier, peg or not to peg, this one I pegged. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger presentation, so I definitely don't want to get it caught up and stuff. Like as you can see, it's definitely a bigger bait. And with this, I went with a 1/2 ounce weight and pumpkin seed. Bigger bait, I'd probably go with a little bit more of a natural presentation on my weights. Sometimes your weights even count, guys. There was something that Mike Iaconelli said with the predator and prey. Sometimes, like, if the weight's like right here, say if I didn't have it pegged, or even if I had it pegged and I didn't notice in the water that the weight was about that far away, this, as it's going through the water, might look like a worm or something chasing this. So you just really know it. And usually when a bass sees something else chasing something, they know they can get distracted and they know they can get an easy meal. Because of that, it'll definitely go for it, because bass are opportunists and they're ambush predators. So they're going to easily go after something that's just occupied, not noticing they're about to get eaten and being dinner for the bass. So that's one reason. Well, that's one thing to keep in your mind. But the reason I pegged this, just to keep it off of stuff. I don't want the weight. Like if I didn't have it pegged, it'd be going back and forth. It'll be getting caught up in the branches, rappelling up. That's one thing I don't like about not pegging. But really, guys, it just depends on where you're fishing. Now, I went with a bigger presentation. I can see 12 inches. I want that bass to see a big meal. I want him to see something that he's going to be able to get and sit and not have to eat for hours, maybe even a day. Because a bass can go on a bluegill for 2 weeks, believe it or not. So something big like this, you'll definitely trigger a lot bigger fish. But I used a bigger weight, definitely because it's a bigger bait. It's going to be a lot harder to throw this in the wind with this big ribbon. Yes, it's aerodynamic, you know, it's just a straight ribbon tail. But having a bigger weight and having it pegged, like I said, keeping it off of stuff when I'm fishing logs, ledges, deep bush cover. So I want to keep it out of being tangled on stuff. So that's a big reason why I picked it. Now, color-wise, like I said, water clarity, you know, whatever water clarity you guys throw what works with water clarity. Sometimes when the pressure is really high, you can throw a lighter color in darker water. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes the bass really want something that looks natural, something in their environment. So like light blues, greens, I wouldn't say red at all. This is more like a flash bait for murky water, but pumpkin seed, watermelon, even tequila shad or tequila sunrise. So that's a big thing to go for, guys. So bigger bait usually equals bigger fish, depending. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes in winter you can throw smaller and get bigger fish. So I went over weight, peg, so hook. Now for this, I got a bigger bait. I want a thicker odded hook. I want a really nice thick hook. And as you can see there, that's pretty thick. That's VMC heavy aught. That's a really thick hook. If you guys don't use these in real life, or if you guys don't use heavy aught too much, this is thick. This is about as thick as a quarter, or maybe even a little bit more. So when I get a big bass, I want to like really get a hook set. I mean like Bill Dance break your back hook set. I want something crazy, something that I can really force him out of whatever I'm fishing in. And plus, you're going to be doing a lot of, they're going to be doing a lot of pulling. You're going to be doing a lot of pulling. So you don't want nothing to bend out. So, and another thing, guys, all these hooks are BMC. If you guys check out BMC, they have an amazing line of hooks for anything you need to do. They have some really cool technical hooks, and they have some really nice, just classic, like this one's a J-Aught and all the other ones were wide gaps. So, yeah, guys. That pretty much does the video. I just want to give you guys a good perspective on how you should be using a Texas rig, in what areas, and using a bobber stopper or not using bobber stopper. You just got to remember, guys, that think before you cast, think before you put on something, because you got to really look at your area. If you want to maximize getting as many fish as you can, you're gonna have to really think in your head, what is going to work here? And if you don't know what's going to work, look up videos like this one, or anything by a pro, or anybody that is like your favorite fisherman. Now, that'll about do it for this video, guys. I hope this helped you a lot, because this is kind of whatever I'm throwing with the Texas, I always think of what I'm going to be doing and where I'm going to be fishing and what's the water clarity. So yeah, guys, hope you guys liked the video. You guys know what to do. Like, comment, subscribe. Give me some support. Like always, it's been Rollin' Rossi. Thanks for watching, and keep it rolling, guys.